Life! Life, do you hear me? Give my creation life!
That the Lord of the Black Land come forth! Let justice be done upon him!
Today, we celebrate the first of many diversity forums. Why is it that women appear to be worse at math than men? What is the source of this illusion? Or as I call it, the biggest lie ever told.
You're a worse version of Hitler.
Please believe me, I understand the problems of women. See?
The principal's a tranny.
Am I wearing women's clothes? I didn't notice. When I look in my closet, I don't see male clothes or female clothes. They're all the same.
Are you saying that men and women are identical?
Oh, no, of course not. Women are unique in every way.
Now he's saying women and men aren't equal.
No. It's the differences, of which there are none, that make the sameness exceptional. Just tell me what to say.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Individually we are weak, like a single twig. But as a bundle, we form a mighty
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. How do I sound? Hopefully not too bad. I think I'm about 80% back. I don't know how long I'll be able to stream for, because if I hear it start slipping, I will probably have to end it there, because I don't want to ruin what's going to happen tomorrow. We're launching Tiger Blue here, and then going on to Jeremy's show. So a big day tomorrow. Smokey Bancroft. Yeah, I can, says Angela Curry. Yeah, I can sing some sultry tunes for you. Whiskey Bacon says you sound terrible and upgrade from normal. How are you all going? It's been too long. It's been far too long. Hang on. I got a member chat here from the one and only Mo Biggs. Unfortunately, I can't bring it up. Let me take this chat off, though, so that for everyone who's about to clip, enjoy it. I'm Michael Bancroft, always coom for monikers. There you go, Mo. It's actually probably for B-Rose more than anything. How you all going? Yeah, I haven't been doing Late Night with CG. I did Camel Nights. I did the game show. But that's not... I don't have to actually host them, so you can just take it easy. But we got some people in the chat. I want to say hello to Nora and Rad. Alex is here. Voyage is here. We got Dave in the house. Ryu's here. Schneely's here. Hail Mo Biggs. Been seeing Mo Biggs all over YouTube today. Sumo Thori, I see you. Moromi. Alex has gone to sleep. We got Haggleman in the house. Who else? Nolan Lockhart, I want to say the Robin Hood of Camel Knights, but yeah, also not, because he has to be in line with King. What's his name? Prince. I can't remember his name. Anyway, all the taxes. Who else? We got Jim Cox. We have what else? He asks, are you extending your drawing out so you don't have to mow the lawn or something? We've been relaxing it. Mel's been sick as well. She's slowly getting better. I've got the pop-up chat open as well. Mo says, great delivery, Bancroft, quality reading. Yeah, I tried to be clear. And now with my husky voice, it it might work well. We've got Unhinged in the house as well. Who else is here? Who else do I spy? Mortal V, putting out the link in the chat. I am like 12 people away from 800 signups to Paint to Death. I'm sure you're all signed up, but if on the off chance you haven't, please do, because that's some epic bragging rights. Angela asks, why so melty? Oh, the dude on the in the pit thing? No, he's not melting. He's dripping. Someone said it actually. It's was it Sumo? Said it. Yeah, he's not melty. He's covered in some gooey substance. Actually, I handed in the Visions piece to John Malin. It's set in the same catacomb, and you actually get to see a full colored version. Actually, you probably get to see it because I'm going to color this piece and put it on the campaign page, so you probably get an idea of what is in that goop at some point shortly. We got D in the house. How you going, D? Who else is here? Whiskey Bacon, Fallout Zones here. Did I say hello to Angela Curry? No, I'll say hello again. Frog G's here. Who else? Who else? Is D saying I sound better? Mate, a little bit. RP. I don't feel like my voice is gonna like give out at any given moment, which is an improvement. 83.7%. Yeah, good. Sounds like an Aussie. I sound like I've been smoking durries. For all the Aussies out there who know what that is. I've been smoking durries my whole life. I go on a smoko, have a couple of durries, go to the pub after work, have a VB, crack open a stubby. You know what I'm saying. It's not creamy nougat. Bullet Ninja. Rai says, Bancroft, does that imaginary country in Ohio, does that have an Independence Day? Hope everyone that is apples. I can't understand what you're saying there, right? I kind of get what you're saying. We do have not an Independence Day, we have a celebration, Australian Day. Well, Nolan Lockhart, the Robin Hood of CG, has struck again with another 5 memberships. Thank you so much. I see they've been picked up by Noran Rad, Ryu Maromi, Ryan Johnson, and Mason W. So everybody, welcome. Welcome to the Super Bogan Discord. You're all bogans in my mind. But if you want to be a Super Bogan, to enter the VIP Bogan Discord, then yeah, to become a member, get access to the rod. I see Jasper's in the house. I see Lord Crackhead is in the house. Just saw Monica, yeah. Great show, man. And congratulations again. I want to actually bring that up. Where is it? Where is it? I want to do it live. We're doing it live. Oh, you can't see it in this view. Hold on a sec. Nope. There we go. So everybody, this is the link to Jeremy's 1K celebration stream. I'll put it there in the chat for you. And I'm about to go do it now. Let's go see who's entered already. So everyone here are people who've entered into the 1K giveaway. I mean, it's just happened, and it's like, I don't know what time it is, like 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. People are trying to. There's Mel. She says, "Great stream team." Has Victoria commented yet? She better. Need maximum number of entries into this thing. There she is. Victoria says, "Hail, AR-15 orangutan." Love to see it. All right. So it's time for me to make my entry here. I think I'm just going to keep it simple. Maybe a couple of exclamation points. And I'm in. B-Rose Gay. Excellent. Because apparently you can win something for having the most witty comment as well. I mean, I don't know if it's witty, but it's timeless. It's timeless. So everybody, make sure you do so. Go subscribe to the biggest giveaway in CG history ever, and it's not even close. Angela says, I'm quadrupling my chances. Well, I got 3 entries. We're not going to make a Google account for Clark. Victoria has to have one for school. Melanie obviously has one. I guess Clark and I will just have to go together. Oh, that's too hot. But yeah, you'd be a fool not to enter this. Awesome One says, I clicked on something. Yeah. It's a good idea. Good idea to click on something. I'm going to do a little bit of, I wouldn't call it drawing, fake drawing tonight, because, I just got to ease back into things. Some cutting and pasting. People were wondering, hang on, let me share this. Actually, before we get to that, I want to show this. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Hold on a sec. It's not sharing. There it is there, I think. Corey Barton. Does Corey Barton have a problem? Corey. You know what I love about this? And I mean, Rob Arnold must be like, we haven't seen, Corey started posting this new stuff from his, I don't know, some new sci-fi book. And we haven't really heard from Rob in like 3 days. Like, because someone needs to check on him, check his fluid levels, make sure he's okay. Because he's just sort of fallen off the map. And we all know why. Rob is obsessed with TNA. This is definitely saved in Rob's secret folder on his computer, the invisible one, aka the wank bank. But this is very cool. You know what I love about this? I've been banging my head against Bullet Ninja says, yeah, Rob is dehydrated. He totally is at the moment. We need to make sure, we need to get some water to him. Get him one of those what is it? The hydrolyte things, the packets. You pour it in the water. He needs it. That's Norin says that's a grade A ace. And Mortal V says Corey is drawing his own porn. Look, Corey's trying to walk his own path here, and I approve. But I've been banging my head against a wall when it comes to Corey ever since I met him, because he is a insanely skilled draftsman. He is really, I mean, this is tough to say because he always gives me so much shit, but he is incredibly skilled with the pen. And he draws beautiful women. He has a very unique eye for comics because he loves everything to be over the top. And you can see it happening here. But the thing about over the top is he over-rendered everything to within an inch of its life. Like hatch. Okay, cool. Put in some hatching. Cross hatching. All right, you're going a bit far. Like triple cross hatching, quadruple. Like Corey would just over hatch. And plus, on top of like it just like overpowering everything, his art, it would take him forever to draw these things. And he's a real purist. He wouldn't do what I'm about to do, which is copy and paste everything. He would never do that. That would be like blasphemy to him. So he's drawing every single line every time. And this is, when I saw this, I was like, yes, beautiful, Corey. More of this. Head in this direction. I really can't say enough good stuff about it. And I'm not like, I'm talking about the drawing. I mean, the TNA is great as well. I mean, Rob, we can sacrifice Rob for that. Skip Edwards in the house says, was Bancroft hired by Rob to color this page? No, I'm not. They know my rate, my $900 a page rate. I don't think they can afford me. I couldn't even afford me. KSS says Skip Edwards is a great artist too, almost as entertaining as Shelby's chair. Nice drawing. Yeah, I think he did color it. Hang on, there's another page he had colored. Let me click on this thing here. Where is it? Here it is. Don't know how long I want to keep this up on the page. YouTube. She's fully clothed. I love this panel down here. I know people were saying, "Oh, her waist is too thin. Her boobs are too big for her frame." No. This is what comic books. If you want this, like, just go all out with it. Mo says, I mean, the TNA's grows up. I don't think I've ever heard such a disingenuous statement in my life. No, it's good. It's like this style. See, I feel like Corey could do pages like this. I feel like if he really knuckled down, he could do, like, I don't know if he could do a page a day, but one every couple of days, especially one every 3. He could definitely do this. Whereas when he was like, he would have hatched her boobs, up into the middle of the boob. He would have hatched it all the way up into here. The nipple would have had quadruple hatching on it. It was unnecessary. It took away a lot of the movement out of the art, but that movement is back. I can almost feel those boobies jiggle now, which is what you want. Dale, I assume Rob would approve. We haven't heard of Rob. We haven't heard from Rob in days. Ever since this thing came out, he's been in a cave. He's gonna come. Rob is gonna emerge from the cave, and he'll be like Christian Bale in that movie, or Donnie Wahlberg. His face will be sucked in. You'll be able to see the tendons in his cheeks. This is too much for Rob. This is like overload. Todd McFarlane, he's in the chat. He approves. He says, "Jiggle, jiggle, bud." Yeah, he knows how it is. Rob is 3 days in the cave. He emerges, and everyone's like, "We thought you were dead, Rob. We thought you had jerked yourself into oblivion." He's like, "Oh, ye of little faith. Touch my body. See that I'm real." Yeah. We got Rainey in the house. Rainey, you disappointed me tonight with your emotional damage, but you got it back in the end. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to show you up because I have my voice. And I don't know how it's going to go, but yeah, you came in clutch. It was all right in the end. You won. I'm talking about over on Lord Crack's channel. She jumped on. I need a drink here. Hold on a sec. There we go. Yeah, I need to take some sips of tea. I just had a butter menthol. Got to keep things lubricated in there. Mo says, Rob claims he's sick. His symptoms include dehydration, soreness, and hairy palms. Yeah. Just as of, what's that word? Like when you're he's emaciated. Now. And I don't know, it could be a good look on him. All right, there's that. And there's also, I want to show this. This is what, where is it? Here, this tweet is going really well. Arrête, c'est ici l'Empire de la Mort. I say that really bad, but I don't care. Doesn't bother me. I'm an Aussie. I'm an Aussie, damn it. So I finished this. It took forever. And people have been asking questions about it. Whose bones did Rainey jump? What? I didn't say anything about any bone jumping. We got Devilfish in the house. She jumped Malin? What? No, that didn't happen. We got Snuggy here too. Rainey's, I don't know, she's defending herself somewhere. Surely. It was okay. No, I would have expected a better Asian accent from Rainey. That's all I'm saying. But I guess if you want to see that, you have to go back and watch the end of Jeremy's stream, but not right now. Hold on, turning off the heater. Yeah, this tweet's gone really well. 170 likes. That's a pretty good response. That's what I want. This page, any of you who have seen the InDesign file that I'm working off, this whole area gets covered up on the panels, but I don't know, I might do something with this. A print, I don't know, a puzzle. I don't know if it will work as a puzzle. I don't know. I'll think of something. I've got to color it up, see how it looks. Lieutenant Hughes say Asian isn't great with Asian accent. She's still learning. Yeah, well, we'll give her time. Rai says we need the Malin versus Rainy draw off so Rainy can take them both. Oh, the belts, yeah. Is that still happening? I don't think she's going to do that. She has nothing to gain and everything to lose by doing that. D says be great as a print. That's what I was thinking. And the reason why, see, people are, well, hang on, let me show you guys. Hold on a sec. Let me show you what I'm, rather than just yapping about it, in comics, we show, we don't tell. Rather than just yapping on about it, let me share what I'm talking about so that you know I have a frame of reference here. So this is the page as it appears in the book. So yeah, obviously a lot of those skulls get covered up. But I drew them. I want to use them. Are those bats on the ceiling? Asks Awesome One. No, they're not bats. They're skulls. They're skulls from the catacombs. Exactly. KSS asks an important, have you ever considered selling some of this art as an adult coloring book? I know those are very lucrative. That's an idea I hadn't thought of. That is a very good idea. Skull work for nothing. No, not skull work for nothing. Print as an add-on would be cool. Or cook. That's what the kids are saying these days. That's cook, man. No, they're not. Let's zoom in. They're skulls, man. These are the catacombs. Can you imagine how many people have died to provide for these vaulted ceilings over the years? Over the thousands of years buried deep under the Parisian streets. Many, many, many. And that's a little hint. That is a little hint as to what's going on in this sequence here. Todd says, make it into a puzzle. I might. We'll see. Like, I might have to crop it in. I don't know if you want the puzzle just to be like all skulls. So if I go back here, show that off. Yeah, it would just be like mostly skulls, but I don't know. We'll see how it looks. But yeah, the point I want to show this off. So people were asking, like, even though I said here down on this tweet, I said, how many skulls do you wish me to draw, my master? And Palpatine's like, all of them. I can do that really good right now. All of them. Wipe them out. No, my voice is breaking. I did technically draw all these skulls. Technically, yeah. So each one of these skulls, I had a hand in drawing. Mel didn't draw them. I don't want anyone starting rumors. Like this skull here, I drew that skull. I drew that one. I drew that one. I drew that one. I drew all of them. But did I hand draw every single one of these skulls? No. No, I did not. I did do some copy and pasting. I'll admit it, Corey Barton. I did. Work smart, not hard. Because, I mean, this took me... I wasn't working on it nonstop. While I started this, I also did the CG Vacation piece. I did John Malin's Visions piece. I did a whole bunch of other stuff, background stuff, bookmark for Snuggie and the boys. There was no skull brush used. They are individually drawn. Mel used the skull brush. Green Laser says you drew 3, then copied them a lot. No, I didn't. I drew a lot of skulls. it comes to a point like there's a balance. You got to kind of obscure it, you know? So there's some things you can copy and some things you can't. But yeah, eventually there's diminishing returns on hand drawing every single one. And it's like, it becomes so small. What's the point? You know, no one's going to be able to tell. No one's going to see. Hold on. Mo's yelling at me. Read it, Bancroft. All right. Mo says, Bancroft, you wouldn't have to have drawn nearly as many skulls if you'd use your own skull reference. There's some foreigny skulls in here, Mo. You better believe that. There's some foreign skulls in here. Yeah, trust me. But then I can't find them, but I remember drawing them. I was like, damn, because I already have a natural tendency to draw high foreheads, you know, because you draw what you see every day. You draw what you know. I draw big manly hands like I have, even on the ladies, and I have to sort of like shave them in. And I draw high hairlines. It's what I do. But no, so I did copy and paste, and I also, these pillars, I did the front 6, and then I was like, that's it, no more. Like, this is all cuneiform on these pillars. If I can scroll in, I mean, you can't really tell. Hold on a sec. Why can't it let me scroll in there? There you go. So that's like cuneiform script on those panels, but after the first 6, I was like, no, that's it, no more. I punished myself enough. I'm trying to get the book out. Big manly hands. Exactly, Aetherline. Exactly. Bancroft, have you seen Rob cry? Did you laugh? Yes, I have seen him cry. Yes, I did laugh. It was when he got the Rob Willis piece back from Carl Ritter. He did shed a tear. And yes, I did laugh at him. Green Laser asks, does it say anything though, Bancroft? Oh, it says so much. It tells a long tale. But does it literally say anything? No. I'm a dramatist. I'm not a psychopath. I'm not going to translate essays of script to wrap around a column that's going to be printed 1.5 inches high in a comic. I mean, I am crazy, but I'm not that crazy. So yeah, if you do read this, if you are of the ancient Sumerian persuasion and you can read cuneiform, sorry, you got me. You got me. It's not real, but it looks real. That's all that matters. This is make believe. We're having fun here. Sumo Thori for $9.99. Little did we know, similar to the Eiffel Tower page, Bancroft was also naming the skulls with people from the chat. I wish. Can you imagine? I'd be like Salty Cracker if I had this many people in the chat. I would. If it meant I had 10,000 people watching, I would name each and every one of you, give you each a skull. I mean, you can have a skull if you want. You can claim them. That would be great if I could set up a website where you can go and claim a skull. You just click on it and it's like, ding, that's Sumo there. All right. What are we getting here? Mo says getting books out is overrated. I don't want to have Fowler yelling at me. Like, he really yells. He scares me a little bit. I don't know if I want that in my life. Maromi says, if you make a brush from your own skulls, isn't that technically drawing every skull? Yes, but brushes, you run into the same problem as if you copy and paste too much. You get to see patterns and it doesn't look authentic. So I don't use, like, I know we joke about chain brush. I don't use any stuff like that. I use one brush when I draw. That's it. All right, scrolling down here. Maybe Human says, spoilers, when Bancroft loses his voice, he spends a week converting the entire story into hieroglyphs. I've been busy. Yeah, even when I was sick, I was in there working. That's what I've been doing. I've been getting these pages done. I've got about, I don't know, 6 or 7 pages like this in the book that require a drawtistic level of detail, and I want to get them out of the way. I think I've got two or so left. One of them probably will involve a cover. So yeah, gotta, I get that stuff done, and then you sort of, it's easier. KSS says, I got a chimney on my house made out of human skulls. Come on, take a little walk with me, Arlene, and tell me who do you love. Jesus. Sumo said, I imagine there was more maniacal laughter when Bancroft was naming the skulls. I would. Mo says, Bancroft translated his erotic Gilgamesh fan fiction into cuneiform. There you go. Yeah, he would be in there. Gilgamesh would be in there. Definitely. Inscribed on this pit and on these pillars. But I don't know if it's erotic fanfic. Seriously, says Dale, the campaigns that are funding for over a year run up their totals more. I'm definitely going to be keeping this thing up, keeping it going. All right, so basically that's the excuse portion of the show. We can now move forward to the copy and pasting portion of the show, if you're all amenable. That's what I'm going to be doing. I just need to find the right panel. I need to set up the right thing. There we go. So just like a, what's it called? Just like a cooking show. Hold on a second. I'll out of frame here. There we go. Here's one I cooked up earlier. And essentially, I've got a layer for the script. And I'm going to be copying and pasting and morphing that stuff from the existing. This is how you draw backgrounds, everyone. Don't do it the Corey Barton way, where you're redrawing every single thing. This is like, we do digital for a reason, so that we can copy and paste. That's how we do. So I'm going to copy from somewhere else. The panel that you just looked at. Hang on, that's too small. I might copy from this. There we go. Got another panel over here. I'm copying from that page that we were just looking at, essentially. There she blows. All right, there we go. Doesn't quite fit perfectly, but fits well enough. That's all you need. Like that. Looks good. But as you can see, it never comes in perfect. Never comes in exact how you want it. And of course, I'm an idiot and I didn't use masks. Because I'm an idiot. And I never learn. I learn lessons and then I forget them. So now I have gaps that I wouldn't have if I had used masks. But I didn't. So you can see I've got this area here. This is a cool little, I'm going to show everyone a cool little trick. If you're down, anyone wants to see a cool little Photoshop trick. All right, here we go. So I want you to see, I've got this. I need to fill this in, but this is all like, that's transparent behind us. That's just, if I could put a color behind these if I wanted to. Let me do that. Let me demonstrate what I'm talking about here. I could put red behind it. You can see. So if I were to try and say, do an auto, what's it call it? Auto content aware fill, it wouldn't work because it needs to be flattened. You can't just autofill if it's on a transparent background. That's what I'm saying. All right. D's heading off. See you later, D. He says in Rob we trust. I mean, Rod. We definitely don't trust in Rob. Maybe Human says he's deciphered the code. It just says lorem ipsum over and over again. Ryu says, why not put your logo in somewhere as an Easter egg? When I put Easter eggs into the Lucent, it's like giving you important information for the story. Nothing else. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that line art that we've got here, this stuff. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to create a mask. Here we go. There's the mask. I'm going to paste it in place. So now I'm inside a mask that is flattened. So that's like white and black squished together. I can't put any color behind that. If I invert it and fill in the layer that I had earlier, I've got basically the same thing that I started with, except now on the mask, look what I can do. Look at this. Now I can content aware fill. And this is just Photoshop sort of, making things up for itself. It's seeing what's around it, and it's going to fill it in for me. Just using its own sort of tech. I don't know. I don't pretend to understand this magic and how it works. I just know that it does work. KSS says, according to Google Translate, the cuneiform Bancroft is actually using reads all work and no play makes Jack a very dull boy. Well, I'll tell you what this stuff says without actually telling you what any of it says. It tells the story of the order and the history of the man who founded the order. The order was only referenced once in the Lucent. I think the dude in the hat, if you recall, if you remember when Ella was being whisked away at the very start of Waking Dream, he says something along. Let me pull this up, actually. I want to get it right. I want to get it verbatim. Sheep McQueen also says, do you find the iPad useful for drawing? I find the iPad invaluable for drawing. Absolutely invaluable. I would never give it up. It's a fantastic tool. All right. Hang on a sec. Let me go full screen here so you can see what I'm doing. Solo. There we go. This panel here. So he's talking to them, and he says, you would die protecting her. What will become of her then? The order does not leave loose ends, and you were marked for death the moment they realized what she is. Even I cannot stop that now. Yes. So very important group in the series. Obviously, they're being set up as an antagonist group. I've made mention of an ancient Illuminati style order many times. And yeah, so these writings sort of tell their story, and they tell the story of the man and the people who founded it, and their lives and their history. And you might wonder, why is it written in cuneiform? Wow. There's a link back to the first scene. Someone said there's no what's the connection to any of this that happens in that first prologue to what happens later on in the story? Some people think that there's no connection. Sometimes this content aware doesn't really work brilliantly. You got to actually just do a bit of a copy and paste. That's all right. It's fine. There we go. Oh shit, that didn't work. What did I press? Might get rid of that. All right. Mo says remove the stone of shame, attach the stone of triumph. Yeah, stone cutters. It's I was watching John Wick with Mel. We watched. Did we watch the three of them? Yeah, we did. We watched all three of them, and I was like, hey, this like shadowy assassin group, they sort of function in similar-ish to the Order, although they're just purely focused on being assassins. The Order is much broader, but the way they work and exist within the world is actually pretty similar. They even have, well, they don't, but a subsidiary of them have a coin that will be introduced at some point. All right, so that's in there, but it doesn't quite line up how I want it to. So I need to, let's see if this works. I don't know if this is going to work. In terms of, it'll work, but hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. All right. Now, the cool thing about once you've done that on that layer mask, you just delete the layer mask and it goes, hang on. No, you apply the layer mask. You don't delete it. You apply it and then it goes back to being out. You can now put things on it underneath it again. You can put color underneath it if you want. So it's a cool little trick to extending out line art using masks. Rose says John Wick 3 was okay. Just hope 4 is better. Yeah, it's definitely the weakest of the trilogy, but one thing I think probably the biggest disappointment in John Wick 3 was how quickly and flippantly they sort of revealed the whole secrets of this secret society. Like they went to the one who sits above the high table and he's just some young dude sitting in the desert. It's like, that was pretty underwhelming for me. Movies have to do that. They have to give everything away too quickly. Just this, like, because every single movie needs the 3 acts. So, yeah. But hopefully 4 is good because I think that's the finisher. All right, let me see if this works. I'll see if, oh, damn it, I keep pressing the wrong thing. See if you can see it. I don't know if you can. Let me check this out. No, you can't see it. All right, let me see if I can share it. Oh, looks like I can. Cool. All right, so you're seeing that? Cool. Okay, so this in Photoshop is the sort of like, what is it called? Liquify panel. And that just means you can mesh morph things around, move the line art around how you see fit. Hang on. And just sort of, like line it back up. See how like it needs a bit of a curve to it in places where it didn't have one before. So just sort of line these lines up, mesh it, mold it back into the shape that it sort of, oh, that was bad. Trying not to be too heavy-handed with it. But, if you see like people doing photography where they're, making boobs bigger or whatever, hips, waist thinner, they might use this tool or this dialogue, this box or whatever it is. but you can also do it with a line art. And there we go. Done and done. Yeah, Rye just says Liquify is great for photos as well. Mr. Monkey says now he's cooking his comic. KSS says, I like listening to Bancroft and Rob review movies. Bancroft will discuss subtext of the plot, symbolism, and foreshadowing, and Rob will say things like, that brunette in the film had great knockers. Yeah. It's a good mix. It's a good mix. Was I not sharing any of that? Oh no, because I hit okay. Right, okay. So that window obviously closed. That would have been a disaster. Okay, let's get it back up. All right. So what I have to do is obviously then trim off the edges. And then you got, we got more goodies. This is the sort of stuff those traditional fellas, they can't do any of this. They have to actually draw stuff with their hands. Like dinosaurs. Remember in what was it? Back to the Future 2? Where they're playing the video game in the diner and the kids are like, you have to use your hands. That's baby stuff. And that's how I see it. Although I'm using my hand right now, so don't come at me, bro. I'm just joking. Bros. I like to have a little gap between these pillars. Makes me feel like I actually drew them for that purpose, Dal says Bancroft is 2 steps away for Sheila Alien's AI art. I wish. Could you imagine? Just like getting your art done in 20 minutes just by typing in what you want. Yes, please. Like, I'm not here to be renowned as the world's greatest comic book artist. It was never my goal, never my intention. I want to get as good as I possibly can, but that's to serve the story. Because I know that, great art helps the story, obviously. But I have no ego about that. I'm not trying to be the next it man. I'm just trying to, make the best comic I can, tell the best story I can. I have no qualms using all sorts of shortcuts and digital things. And obviously, like, this obviously isn't like probably not looking that short now, but this is the stuff. Like, once you've got it built up a good library of these panels, once I've got a whole library of these panels, I can start reusing more stuff quicker. All right, that's one done. Jim says, is a replicator going to color your book since you colored his? Oh God, Jim. No. All right. Mo says Bancroft made the Back to the Future kids sound like they're from the deep south. I don't know. I'm just happy I can talk again, Mo. Mortal V says, if you can't get better than Ethan, you may as well quit. What I'm saying is, just try and be the best that you can be yourself. Like, I know some people out there literally want to be the best artist of the day. I don't have that goal. But I want to draw each book better than the last, if you know what I mean. That's what I want. All right, let's see how we go here. Grabbing another one. In we come. There we go. It's that easy. It's just that easy. Keep in mind, these panels will be quite small on the page. So see, if I had have done masks in the other one and I hadn't cut these out, I wouldn't have to do this step. And that's what annoys me. I know this, but I still do it. I still make the same mistakes. Time wasting mistakes. These things that this might think like, oh, this only took him a minute to, fix this mistake he made. But a minute here, a minute. See, look at that. It doesn't even look any good. A minute here, a minute there. This stuff adds up. Oh, this is looking terrible. I'm gonna have to scrap this. Just copy and paste. All right. How about this? We got Pornbot in the house. Always good to see Pornbot here. Slumming with us. There we go. That looks better. That looks better. Mm-hmm. All right. Todd McFarlane is calling me Boomercroft. Holy shit. I guess I should be honored, I suppose. That looks pretty good. Close enough. That's another one of my mottos in comics. Close enough is good enough. I see these artists out there saying you should redraw that, or you should, you could do that so much better. Nah. Once it's done, it's done. I mean, unless it's like absolutely woeful. Like we're talking, your characters look like crackheads. Then yeah. Whiskey Bacon says, this pillar stuff is amazing. I was having trouble falling asleep, and this helps a lot. Yeah, good. I'm here for you. I do that for my wife as well. I just start talking to her about science or something, and she falls right asleep. Hang on. I mean, I can go to flatting if you prefer that. Flatting is also pretty riveting stuff. I could chat more like about other stuff when I'm flatting because I don't have to think about anything. I can chat about whatever. I just can't seem to draw on streams. That's the only, some people can. Like, that's another thing Corey can do. He can talk and draw at the same time at a very high level. I mean, I'm not saying the talking is high level. I'm saying the drawing is high level. I can't do that. I just can't. It's not in my head. It's like when I start to do arithmetic. I was top of my class in maths, but I couldn't tell you what 7 times 8 is. I need a calculator. I'm terrible with arithmetic. My brain just seizes. If I'm using the part of my brain that I use to draw, and then also to hold a conversation, 2 and 2 don't go together. Let me finish off this pillar, and I'll do some flatting on that other page. It's good to be getting stuff done again for the book. Because I was doing those pin-ups, I was doing other stuff. I felt like I was like getting a bit behind on production. I'm so happy that I'm not regretting that I did that other stuff. I consider it like marketing and being, active in the community, which is, as we're seeing, is so incredibly important. I just, you have a bit of a production schedule going, and it's so easy to get behind on it. Every day you fall behind, and then there's another day, and then before you know it, you're like weeks behind. And that's what worries me, when the campaign is actually live, because that's what happened last time too. I was just like so far behind on so much stuff. And then you get Vanessa and Fowler yelling at you. And they're two scary people. To avoid conflict at all costs. What's going on in the chat here? Good enough for Australia is what I hear often, says Maybe Human. There are a few faces in comics that have a busted face that should be the actual people, says Ryu. Mo Big says Bancroft is so bigoted, he takes your characters look like crackheads as an insult. Yeah, I know I am. I'm sorry, Mo. I am bigoted. I am what I am. I'm too old to change. Mortal V said, would it help if someone came on while you did some drawing? It does help. No, Rob really does help. But even then, sometimes I get lost in the conversation and it'll just grinds to a halt. It really does. As I've learnt about myself. I can't do those two things at the same time. Like some people can watch a movie and draw. I can't really. It really slows me down, but I can listen to music. It's like another part of the brain gets activated when I'm listening to music. It actually helps. But drawing, talking or watching a movie or something, it slows everything down. 7 times 8, panic time for Bancroft, says KSS. I mean, I've got no idea. And that might make me appear dumb to some, but it is what it is. And just that part of my brain does not work. All right, I can get it to work. I can figure it out, but not easily. Not like it never stuck. You memorize times tables. It'd be like in one ear and out the other. All right, enough of this. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Whatever. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Let's start flatting this thing. Hold on a sec. Let's close this and open this. Can we see that? Excellent. Flatting, I can actually like hold a conversation because it's, I don't have to think. KSS says, send Noah the link. Did you know some say he's the next John Malin? He's humbled. Noah had his start right here on this channel in the chat. He was led through fire by Mr. Mo Biggs here. It was trial by fire, and he passed with flying colors. And look at him now. Mo says, Bancroft finally admits he can't draw and pay attention to a movie at the same time, fully explaining how he enjoys Shang-Chi. That is so true. We watch things like TV shows or movies. If I've seen the movie, it's fine. I just draw. I can draw. It's fine. If I haven't, I notice myself watching the movie more than the drawing. That is true. Roy says, Bancroft, are you buying Rob Anna's calendar for the TNA? I mean, that would be a good present for him. It might be a bit weird though. Like his wife opens it up and she's like, why is he sending you this? And I was like, oh, I don't know. It's like, it's someone you've probably been on a stream with. And it could be interesting. George Peter Gatza says, why is this only 1 point perspective? I love 1 point perspective, George. 1 point perspective is appropriate for where the camera is, which is sort of like waist height. It's not worm's eye view because you'd be right down close to the ground. If it was worm's height view, the ceiling would be even more distorted than it is, and it's pretty distorted. It's quite a wide angle going upwards. But no, I like 1 point. I guess you're asking why isn't it 3 point? Doesn't need to be 3 point. There's enough going on where I don't think it needs to be 3 point. Dale says this would be wild in 5 point perspective. What's that? It's like time and space as well. All right. We can have an actual conversation now. Like we can, hang on, let me open something else so that I can get some reference here. I'll start flatting and we can chat. And we can have a good old fashioned Aussie chin wag. How about that? We got Shanth and Jetty in the house. Isn't it really late for you, Shanth? What are you doing? What are you doing up? Maybe Human says, Bancroft, no offense, but you're too old for a booby calendar. Oh, it wouldn't be for me. I'd only buy it for Rob. George says, this is so logarithmic, not natural. I disagree, my friend. I disagree. We often view things in this perspective with our own eyes. I mean, not perfectly, obviously. Obviously, there will always be some level of tilt on the vertical, but it doesn't have to be even noticeable. Dal says 5 point is like fishbowl perspective. Yeah, I do like that too. I mean, I don't know if I would ever attempt a fishbowl on something like this. That would be, my brain might break. No. What am I doing? Oh my God. I just opened Illustrator for some reason because I'm an idiot. Just using that computer processing power. Hold on a sec. Quit that. Too late for Shanth, says KSS. Shanth doesn't sleep. Yeah. He says, if you want, send the link. I'll pop in for a second. I will do that, Shanth and Jetty. I will send you the link. How about that? All right. Why is George on my butt tonight? Do you know how to use Illustrator? Dude, I'm a professional. Of course I know how to use Illustrator. Make sure I'm not sharing anything. We're so scared these days. All right, what's the link? Where's the link? Illustrator was probably the first program I learned. Probably. Whiskey Bacon for 10. Thank you so much, man. That is awesome. Love you, Bancroft. Can't wait for the next loosen. I can't wait to get it to you. Man, this book is going to expand everything out. You're going to see things that you only heard about in the first book, only really were like hinted at. But I'm not going to give away everything like they did in John Wick 3 or The Matrix, because I like to keep the mystery going. Just enough to wet your whistle, you know, but not enough to make it like, because you know the mystery is always the fun part. When they give away the mystery and you get to see everything too early, it's always disappointing. All right, Shant has the link. Thank you again, Whiskey Base, and that's awesome. Okay. All right. Yeah. So why did I bring this up? I think I'm just going to take some flats from this because I like this palette. I don't think it's going to be exactly the same palette here because we're underground, but it's a good starting point. All right. Here we go. And here we, hang on. Yes, that's correct. Go. First cab off the rank. A little bit of a spoiler. I wouldn't call it a spoiler. But a piece of information maybe. Ryan says, you never know when Shant is sleeping since he always sleeps with his eyes open. That must terrify his wife and children. Oh, George says, your solution for the wrapping of the symbols are an Illustrator envelope. Just thought, how do you know I didn't already use a cylindric 3-dimensional wrap for these, George? Dean, for he's a 3-month super bogan chat, says 3 months together, Michael. And he gives me a love heart. He says, please, I hear Bancroft is doing a cover for The Embrace. That is true, Dean. That is very true. Let me put on some earphones because I actually, we'll see. We'll see if I echo. Oh.
Hey, what's up, brother?
If I start to echo, let me know and I'll put some earphones in. How you going, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
Doing very well. I've been missing all your streams live because you've been doing them while I'm fast asleep.
Have you been recovering from anything I need to know about, you know?
I have been sleeping a lot lately.
I can imagine.
This flu has been hitting me for 6, but I think we're starting to turn a corner, hopefully.
Thank God. Jeez.
The voice is coming back.
That's right.
Check this out, Shant. Ready for this? All right.
Yeah,
so people have been asking me, what is this goop?
That
this guy's like, he's coming out of this pit. And they're like, what is this? What is this goopy, viscous fluid all dripping off him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just like, I won't say anything. I'm just going to like start coloring it in, I suppose. And people can draw their own conclusions.
Oh, dear.
Because some people thought it was white. Because, you know, they have
You
dirty
don't
minds.
say. You don't say.
They have dirty minds. It's not white. And I sent the visions piece to John, which has this in it as well.
Yeah.
And he actually said that was a really nice piece, which was like, you don't usually get that out of John Mallon, anyone who's ever sent him artwork. So I was like, wow.
That's an Academy Award.
Awesome. Exactly. I was like, thank you, man. Let's see what the chat is saying here. I knew, first off, the cover of the rank. Is that period blood? I knew that. I was waiting for that. I just wanted to get that one out of the way.
You know.
No, it's not period blood.
Yeah, this isn't a Disney film.
Sorry. Bloody discharge like that is a very disturbing sign.
That's true. Yeah.
You and Vaughn were checking out Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's right. Yeah.
And I said to you in the chat, I said, this looks a lot like the Visions piece
Oh,
that I just
right
did
on.
for John. So here you go. Here's another little piece of the puzzle coming in.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
And yeah, did you catch the finale of Stranger Things?
No, I haven't watched the last 2 episodes yet.
If you do,
Mhm.
settle in.
Uh-oh.
The first one is an hour and a half.
Okay.
The second one is 2.5 hours. We were watching it. We're like, is this a movie? What's happening? And then we checked it. It was like, yeah, it's 2.5 hours.
Yeah, those guys are changing the game, man.
Oh, dude.
They're doing
So
some
good.
great stuff, and it came out like I would say it came out of nowhere. It came out of skill, but it's just more proof that if you got a good story and you can do something interesting, there's an audience for you. That's what it is.
Dillard says, that's weird. Malin is always gushing over everything I send him.
Yeah,
I can't usually get him to shut up.
that's right. It's the coach for
Damn.
you.
Well, that's Dillard. I don't know if you're aware of Dillard's work.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not? I was like making a joke. No, he's legit talent. He does.
I don't doubt it. It's CG, right?
Yeah, comic art. He does painting.
Nice.
It's digital, but no, you should check him out. He's legit.
It's getting ridiculous up in here,
It's crazy.
I mean, you just go down the list of people on our roster, and for everybody who's wondered why there aren't any amazing people in the mainstream industry, well, they're there to be gotten. Just not making a very compelling deal for really skilled people, so we go elsewhere, start our own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's crazy, absolutely crazy what we have happening. And Painted Death is going to smash records, as far as I'm concerned.
It's not going to be that red, everyone. This is just the flatting stage. I'm just blocking out color. He's not going to be glowing red demon. But that should give you a pretty good idea of what is in this pit that he is emerging from. It's not whatever is gushing to Dillard after John sees his art that he sends him. He says, "Ooh, that's red. That's blood." Yeah, I know. Looks like Carrie. Blood goop. That's as close as you could probably describe it, or someone. Blood goop. This is what I'm saying. In this book, in Painted Death, I don't know if you were here earlier, Shant. There was a one panel in Painted Death where a character just makes an offhand comment here.
Yeah.
About the order. And he says, the order don't leave loose ends. You are marked for death. The moment they realize what she is, even I cannot stop that now. Even him with his watery powers can't stop them. And so that was like a little clue as to who's coming and what's coming. In Painted Death, now we get to actually see a little bit more. Sumo says, nope, still confused, but a little bit more grossed out. Well, then I've got you exactly where I want you. Literally, that is exactly where I want you.
I have a feeling that Stranger Things was good for you in terms of your art spirit.
I am definitely taking inspiration from Stranger Things season 4. Absolutely.
I watched those guys do a talk at their alma mater, Chapman University, out in California, and this was a couple of years back, maybe actually not a couple of years, probably 2 years back. And one of the things they said I thought was great is they were going over their list of 10 things that everybody needs to know or they wish they had known. And one of the ones I loved was they said, were 10 rules or whatever. And one of them was, write a story that works. And I just loved that as a blunt force.
I love those simple quotes.
Yep. Write a story that works.
Because people think that there's like, I don't know, you need some sort of magic to and it's got to be really complicated. But when in reality, a lot of it is really just simplicity and stuff that we've learned over thousands of years that people just forget about. or they try and rewrite things too much in terms of, you know, what people want from a story. Yeah, that's good advice.
The whiskey wisdom, you know, things like the more I practice, the luckier I get. I love stuff like that.
Elon Musk, if we don't make things, nothing gets made.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite quotes.
Yeah.
Because it's like people forgot that somehow.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, isn't it?
Dillard says this guy got skunked. That's tomato sauce.
It happens.
And you know what I also love is like story accidents. Like storytelling, just happy accidents, so to speak. Just like Bob Ross, like just like with your paintings, happy little accidents. I've always had a vision of a thing in the book, and I knew I was going to have it. A very visually striking scene. And it needs to be there because it's symbolically relates all the way back to Waking Dream, and it'll play a role in the final book. So it needs to be there, but I couldn't really work out exactly how it was going to work without making it convoluted. And today, yesterday actually, I came to an epiphany, and it was just, you know, accidental, as if I'd always planned it to be like that. It's like everything aligned. I was like, yes, that's it. I mean, that works so well. And then I start thinking of scenes, what people are saying, the dialogue. Okay, yeah, I mean, everything just clicked into place, whereas before it was a bit murky.
Yeah.
And I love those moments. I love it. I can't wait to share like that with people when I see you will actually see what I'm talking about in Painted Death, even though you won't yet know what you're seeing specifically, like what it is exactly that you're seeing.
It's a funny thing loving what you do, isn't it?
Oh man, I've been so obsessed with this story for so many years, and you know, so much of it has existed in sort of more sort of synopsis level existence. You know, it's not 100% fleshed out to the dialogue, to the panel, and all that sort of stuff. It's so much fun seeing that happen, seeing that take place, like watching it actually come to life.
Yeah.
That's far and away my favorite part of the whole process. Far and away.
Yeah.
I don't want to ignore the chat too much. Anton says, I wonder if the Lucent can pass through blood like they can pass through water. Oh, Anton.
Why are you even reading those? He's going to just pick it apart, man. Antoine's like a genius boxer, right? He's just jabbing to the body, picking you apart.
Yeah, but that's it. Like, I'm old school, right?
Yeah,
I don't want anyone to be like, once the story is finished, I don't want anyone to be surprised in a way that they were in like the new Star Wars stuff. Like, what?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. That contradicts what you know, was set up originally. You still got, is that the same bottle of Coke? Tell me that's the same bottle of Coke.
I crushed that one.
Who needs stomach lining anyway?
Let me tell you something. This actually helps to dissolve all the Advil. Yeah, I take a swig out of this and it all just drops to my shoes. There's nothing in there anymore. I'm hollowed out.
What I'm doing with the Lucent is, I'm not saying you will be able to, but it will be possible to. So I'm not saying you can or you will, but it will be possible to predict everything that's going to happen until the very end, once you've got all the information that I'm laying out in the books. So you know, it won't be a surprise when it happens, but it will be satisfying. You'll get that satisfying conclusion to what was set up. That's all I want to do. Like that's the stuff I love. And Antoine was just like, that was a very close punch. I was like,
that's right, man.
And I love it. I'm not gonna deny it. It's yeah, you know, this is good shit. I love it. I love fan, like the fan theories and ideas and mystery and all this. Like that's what I live for.
Yeah,
that's why I love the stories I love reading. That's the story I'm writing.
Yeah, means they've taken it to heart. I mean, this is the thing about it. You know, I was watching. There's this really great channel on YouTube I watch that I really enjoy. I mean, maybe it's not for everybody, but it's great for me. Is a guy called Valiant Renegade who does a lot of business stuff about entertainment. And he had this guy on there on his show who was talking about, you know, the shortcomings of Disney's storytelling. And he was just going down a list of things and going, you know, if I say this, like, tell me if you are aware it's a pop culture phenomenon. And he was listing all their stuff. And then he said Stranger Things. And the guy's like, of course. And he goes, when something's a phenomenon, you know it. And the fact that none of these old properties that these idiots have a hold of are generating the kind of enthusiasm tells you all you need to know. You know, we're in this kind of bizarre Jack Sparrow territory where people go, Comicsgate has got to be one of the worst comic book companies or comic book movements I've ever heard of, but you have heard of us. That's basically what it is, man.
Oh, I love it. Mo says the Lucent passed from Gilgamesh to Enkidu the hard way. Oh, yeah. That's an inside ancient Sumerian joke for anyone who isn't familiar with the 6,000-year-old story. Maybe Human says true. Inspiration is a rare thing in American comics these days. Bancroft sounds like he's there. Oh, dude. I think a lot of us are. I think a lot of us are. And that's why these streams are so good, because it helps fans ascertain, like glean that from the creators. You know, they can sense it. And there's so many things I want to like share and show with you guys that I've been building up to and everything. But you know, all good things in good time. You know, Shanth is another one of them. You know, Von's another one of them. Eric, like there's people out there really sinking their heart and soul into these stories. Ethan with Cyberfrog, and you can tell when they get so pumped up and passionate about it when they start talking about it.
It's a little different, I think, with what you're doing with Lucent, and it's a little different in terms of like when people talk about like this is something I've had in my head for a long time. I've been looking for that comic book my whole life. You know what I mean? Like I've done comics, I've worked on comics, and I've done freelance work, concept art, but I got to a certain point to where I'd done the art books, and I was thinking about, I was like, should I go back to comics? Because it was a tough thing, like I'm one of those people where I have to make a decision where I go, all right, I'm not going to do comics anymore just to be able to move on. That's how passionate I was about it. It was tough. And Nosfero kind of just, every time I try to think of a story, it didn't feel like it encompassed everything I wanted to talk about. And I don't mean like there's messaging in it or anything like that. I mean, I just have a lot of love for certain things. I love, to see romance in a story. I love to see goodness. And then there was also this sort of spiritual component. And I could never think of a way to approach it that wasn't completely didactic, which, lecture-y breakdown. It sounded like a thesis, not like a story. And after I did those 2 art books, I just, I connected with my art in a way that allowed the story to kind of, just, I don't know how to describe it, just sort of happen. And as I've been writing it, it did exactly what you're saying. It kind of reveals itself to you.
Yeah.
Which just, it's a powerful thing. And I thank God and Comicsgate for that every single day. It's just one of those things where I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys, man.
Yeah. I started off with a premise. I don't know if I've articulated this premise. I probably have on certain streams. I don't like to throw it around too much because it does play into the whole mystery. But I started off with a single premise and I went from there.
Yeah.
And just started writing, and it was terrible. There was nothing there yet, but the premise was so powerful. It was quite unique as well. I didn't want to give up on it, so I just got through my terrible writing phase. I figured out all these things, and just built and built and built and built for many, many, many years until I got to the point where all of the characters were real in my head. Their motivations were real and meaningful. The world that I'd built had its own lore and legend and history and everything. So that baked into it, so that when the time came, like I was just talking about, that sort of fuzziness on the edges of what I'd written, where it wasn't quite 100% clear. Never now at this point do I find something that doesn't eventually click into place. It always clicks into place, and it clicks into place because I did those years and years of development and groundwork and thinking and sort of world building about it all. So yeah, it's really rewarding, knowing that I've gotten that, and it's the most exciting thing. It's like what gets me up in the morning and so hyped to work on the book is sharing that with everyone and seeing other people hyped about it. Like that's the best thing. Like that was my favorite stream with Jeremy. He's in the chat here. He says, what is an Olam? I think that stream chatting about the book with him.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Love that man.
Was just like my favorite stream. Actually, I'm doing that over on Alejandro's in I think a couple of days.
Sweet.
I never pass up an opportunity to talk about the Lucent.
Yeah, man.
Let me get back to the chat just quickly. Ryan says, Bancroft, are you using cuneiform in the epic from the Epic of Gilgamesh clay tablet? If not, that would be cool if you added some. Not in these pages. That's like I said, that's autism on a whole nother level. But maybe somewhere.
I've seen your Eiffel Tower. You're in denial, man.
Autism.
Autism.
Zed says, I'm expecting the book to be published before some antiquities nerd reveals its cuneiform gay fanfic. It really isn't, guys. Trust me. Mr. Monkey Boy says, I expect some Mesopotamian oil wrestling. Well, there's some man on man hugging and expression of emotion, but it doesn't qualify as oil wrestling. They're both fully clothed. Random Tar says, amazing listening to creators hyped about the stories they want to tell. Oh, dude.
Yep.
I mean, I love sharing the art because the art is what you can market and get people pumped about stuff. And once they're like, they're really interested in the art, they see it, they're like, oh, I want to see this project, and then you hit them with what's actually going on in the art. It's like the 1-2 punch. It's what I live for.
Yeah.
Antoine, all right, here we go. Let's see how close he is. He was very close with the whole traveling through blood thing. How close is he with this theory? Let's listen. Bancroft's original premise was, can you preserve a fart in a bottle? He has since confirmed that and has moved on to another premise.
Yes, that's right.
He also says an old lamb is a lamb that is not young. Boom, ching.
There you go.
Jeremy says that stream was a lot of fun. Can't wait to do it again with Painted Death. We're gonna have so much to talk about with Painted Death, Jeremy, because not only do we get to talk about what's in Painted Death, but now the things that you didn't really know why they were happening in the Waking Dream, some of those things now become clearer, at least, like more understanding with this. Exactly. I mean, I can reveal that this scene here, I've actually revealed this on a stream earlier, like this place, this catacomb, this is in modern day Paris, buried under the streets of Paris. So there's a connection back to that, that first prologue there in and of itself. So yeah, like that, so all of a sudden now that stuff that we saw has a little bit more meaning in it that we can talk about. And yeah, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. It's gonna be good. Catacomb Mobix. I found out recently, Shant, that Americans say catacomb as in like a hair comb.
Yeah.
And British and Australians say catacomb as in like a tomb. So I mean, look, it sounds like we're right. You don't say that's like a tomb as in, where someone was buried, do you? Well, this
Just
is where
remember
people
won the war. No. No, man, listen. You guys do whatever you need to do. We're all right with it. We take all kinds here.
Tomato, all right? We'll keep our metric system and we'll keep saying category.
Well, everyone else has the metric system. We really did only invent that so we could call it a quarter pounder. I'm telling you.
We still call it a quarter pounder too. We never
insane.
gave that up.
I watched.
I want the McDonald's 330 gram.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
I love that Abe Simpson quote. I got to look it up. I don't want to get it wrong.
If I'm distracting you, they're going to have to kick me out. With all this. Yeah, that's
what
right.
Does he say? Here it is.
80s made consumer. Good to see you, Antoine. Great to see you guys. KSS. Yeah, go ahead.
Hang on. Metric system. So they're talking about the metric system in The Simpsons. In The Simpsons. What the hell is it? Where is it? Oh, yeah. The metric system is a tool of the devil. My car gets 40 rods to the hog's head, and that's the way I like it. That's real too. People think that's made up. That's a real measurement. 40 rods to the hog's head. I checked
that's
it.
Awesome. Of course you did. Yeah. Listen, I'd love to say you're alone in my circle of friends, but every single person I hang out with has that level of attention to research and detail. We can't just let stuff go. That's the way it is, man. Oh man. It's crazy. It's like when I hear you talk about the losing, I'm of course really excited for it. I do want to always remind you I bought the first book on pure shallow appreciation of the artwork. So always know that.
Appreciate that. Yes.
But it's funny, when people start asking you questions like going, is there a reason why he's got that metal thing through his nose? And you're like, yep. Is there a reason why that character is missing a finger? Is there a reason? It's like they start picking out the artwork, and that's the best, man.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed you guys don't call it a Royale with cheese. I'm looking at the
I think that's just the French.
I know, that's still a great name. We should all call it the Royale with cheese. That's just brilliant.
And I think they put Royale afterwards.
A cheese
Royale? I
Royale?
think they start. Yeah, I think they call. Would they say fromage? Fromage Royale?
They better speak American and McDonald's. No, I'm kidding.
You know what they call McDonald's in France?
I don't know. Can't even imagine.
They call it McDo.
Oh my.
Et chante, tu veux McDo?
Oui.
I just asked if he wanted some Maccas. Well, we call it Maccas here, by the way.
There you go.
Because we're Aussie.
That and Paul McCartney, right?
Mo is calling me out. Is like, no, you say comb, and the word ends with comb. It's not a catatomb. It's a catacomb. Comb. Yeah, but that's just look. I'm not here to explain English. Bancroft, do you comb your hair? Because we comb. That's a very good point, KSS.
That's a good. The chat is next level, man. That's all there is to it.
Dean is in here calling me out. He says that's a Bancroftism, like forward. It isn't. I checked Google. I'm gonna die on this hill. In Australia, we say catacomb. Yeah, maybe human. Yeah, Maccas. No, not makers. Like this. Let me spell it. Maccas. Maccas. Everyone calls it Maccas. Like my 4-year-old son, when he's feeling cheeky, he's like, "Can we have Maccas?" Yeah. All righty then. All right. Speaking of Clark, since you've all been sick recently,
Yeah.
We decided to. Well, we didn't decide. Victoria organized this whole thing. Hey, we got talking and drawing with Shane Davis in the house.
Hail, Shane.
Welcome, Shane. I heard he's got like 16 pages left.
Dude, Shane's crushing it, man.
On Inglorious Rex, he's got a big fight scene left. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get like most of the story pages done before launching, and then I'll probably leave a big fight scene that ends out the book for while the campaign is going. But yeah, so because we've had a real rough time of it this last few weeks, Victoria decided that we should have a movie night, and not just like a night where we all watch a movie, like a movie night. You got to know Victoria. She's like, she goes hard on everything. So I was on Camel Nights last night, and that finishes up. I come inside, and it's our living room has been transformed. There's now mattresses all over the floor.
Nice.
With cushions. Their whole, all their little teddies are on it and everything. And there's a table with, a spread of snacks, movie snacks.
Oh my God.
Skittles, chocolate, marshmallows, M&Ms, whatever. And tickets, to the movies.
Oh my gosh.
And a poster on the wall of the movie that we're going to watch.
Oh my gosh.
She printed out a poster. Yeah.
She's a real deal.
Yeah. So we have dinner, and then we play a game. I think we played Gorilla, which is a kind of Uno. And then we're like, oh, the movie's starting at 7:00. So at about 6:45, we go into the living room, and we start playing trailers, like at the movies. A slew
I'm a
of
big fan of the trailers, you know that.
Yeah, that's to start it off. And then I was watching that, and we're like, oh, so like, it's like Mel's like, it's nearly 7. So I said, oh well, it's okay. The movie never starts on time anyway.
That's awesome.
So we watch a couple more trailers, and then I put on the THX sound thing.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
At that point, the house lights are still on. I turned off the house lights and put on the THX sound thing.
Yeah.
Surround sound. And then we watched, and we'd made up these little, we just rolled some pieces of paper into a cone to put all our lollies. We call them lollies, you call them candy, into these things so we could eat them and watch the movie. And we watched Spider-Man No Way Home. Clark is a massive Spider-Man fan. He knows all the characters, but he'd never seen a Spider-Man movie before.
Oh wow, that must have been amazing for him.
Yeah, so he's like that's Doc Ock. That he's the little pumpkin rolls in. He's like, that's Green Goblin. That's a pumpkin bomb. So he knows all this. So we watched that, and it was quite long, but so midway through we paused it, we did an intermission, old school style. And that's a good thing about at home. At the whole time I'm thinking, God, we're saving so much money doing this at home. This would have been like $150 if we had gone out to do this.
Yep.
and we got to have our own popcorn that Mel cooked up in the pan.
Oh wow!
And we got like powdered sugar popcorn and then salt popcorn, like 2 different styles or whatever you want. It was a great night. And then at the end of it, it was like a sleepover. We all slept in the living room on the beds.
That's the best, man.
I was on the couch though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good night.
Dude, that's fantastic, man.
Hopefully
Those are the
it
things that
become a
they're going to remember.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
they was running around screaming, "This is the best night ever!"
That's right. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of funny too, because one of the things I never really, anticipated in terms of CG and how we do this kind of stuff is how big it was going to be to my kids. They get to see me working on this very particular thing at home, which is not something, because a lot of my freelance career would happen at night. And then they've known me obviously as a college professor for 18 years. So before they were born was, the biggest chunk, and before they can remember was the biggest chunk of my work. So, freelance concept, video game stuff, film stuff, that stuff, is not the same thing as the grind of going to the desk every morning and putting in 12, 13 hours, is not the same thing, so it's been so great to, for them to see all that stuff. But I mean, we do this New Year's tradition where we watch, we do a sort of like a James Mason sci-fi night every New Year's, where we watch, we fold out the couch, we did the countdown, and we'd watch 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Walt Disney's version of it, and then Journey to the Center of the Earth with James Mason as well. Those are the things they're going to remember, and that's the stuff that makes it great. And I'm just so glad I'm even though I'm working like crazy, that I'm getting to spend more time with them was fantastic.
Yeah, because comics doesn't leave much time for much else. Like,
no, it doesn't.
Constantly trying to find more time to work on it, because you're always aware of how long this stuff takes to make.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, you can't just let life pass you by at the same time. You got to actually be involved in it, especially if you've got young kids, and if you've got a wife, you can't just neglect her. And but,
I mean, it's so quick, man. I mean, mine are 16. They're going to be 17 in October. So, I mean, that's it. Like last year, you know what I mean? Before they're legal adults.
Damn.
And I know, you feel that? And it's the same year because they're twins. So we had all of those first at the same time with all of our kids. And so that's a lot to look at. I'm going to need a mop for high school graduation, man, for Lauren. She's going to be done, but it's we got a porn bot, the Replicator. You're going to have to get rid of him. No.
Rob's like, "You're cheating on me, Bancroft, with Shant." I'm sure.
Come in here. I'm working on his thing right now, so you should pop in and say, "Hey, for God's sake." He can tag in for me at some point. It's 4:15 in the morning here. I
can send Rob the link. Hold on a sec. I don't know if he wants to come in.
Nah, he's not gonna. He's gonna be coy now. He's gonna be like, no.
He's just saying, maybe he's sick.
Oh God, I hope not.
Saying he's been asleep the whole weekend.
Oh no, yeah, everybody's getting sick.
I don't know if he wants. Yeah, I don't know if he wants the wrench. If he wants the link.
Yeah, no worries if he doesn't. That's fine.
And I'll put it in. I'll put it in there anyway. Doesn't matter. He can come in or he can't.
Like
Mo says, "Wait, that was the porn bot. That wasn't the porn bot. It was Rob. Look what you've made me do." Oh, poor Rob. Yeah, he got de-wrenched last week, and I haven't got around to re-wrenching him.
How did he get de-wrenched?
It was punishment requested by Mo.
Oh my God.
For wanton gatekeeping in both on my stream and on his stream.
Dear Lord. Justice is swift in comics.
And then, Rob, all he wanted was to Rob to leave a single comment in the chat so that he could face his punishment like a man. And Rob left. He didn't show up. So but now he's been here. He's had his chat deleted. I might be able to give him back his wrench. We'll see. He might not want it back. I don't know.
Sometimes it's, that kind of pain.
Ryan points out wrench free keeps Rob humble. Yeah, that's it. Andrew Wyatt asks, I've always heard comics will take all the time you give it. So what have you guys learned as far as tricks to economize your time? Well, the first half of this show was me showing off ways that I economize my time. Was like showing how I was copying and pasting cuneiform onto pillars and stuff like that. But I'm always ears open to anyone who has a way of saving time on this stuff. I'm not the best at it. I'm a pretty slow drawer at the best of times. But just, the thing I know is you need to have a habit of drawing. You need to develop a habit of getting up every day and sitting down and getting to work and not allowing yourself to make excuses to not do it. And I found the best way to do that is to actually love what you do and be excited to do it and want to do it. It's the same with YouTube. I've made my channel a place that I love to go and hang out on. Like I'm excited to whenever I can. I want to, stream or do a video or whatever. That's how you keep it going. That's the best advice I have. Shane agrees. Yes, comics take time, especially the way Shane draws them.
Yeah, right on.
You want to make them good? Yeah, it's going to take a long time. You say that, but you don't really know it until you do it.
Yeah.
Like you can intellectualize it and understand it intellectually, but until you've actually done it, and I've only done one. Like Shane's done. I don't know how many comics Shane's drawn?
Yeah, I'm really excited about Inglorious Rex. Basically, Shane's favorite kaiju movie, or favorite Godzilla movie, I should say, is, if it's still the same, is mine, which is Shin Godzilla. I just find the design interesting. Well, I'm echoing a little bit, I think. Yeah, I got a bit of an echo there. See if that works.
Oh, you've got an echo?
Yeah,
all right.
I think so.
Hold on a second. No, put my thing in. I got a sore ear to go with the cold.
Oh, geez, man. I don't want to make you have to do that, man.
No. It's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, I love kaiju movies, and I also love fighting. I'm a huge boxing fan, like just encyclopedic with, fights and things like that, old fights, new fights, all of it. So
you're just like, pump this straight into my veins.
Yeah, basically. It was when I heard the premise of it, I was laughing. I was going, well, that's right up my alley. I guess I'll be back in that day one. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see what he does with it. Looking good, Michael.
All right, great. Rob is back in the chat. He's given us the 3 dots. He appears to be safe for the moment.
Right now. Yeah, it's pretty rough out there.
Yeah, well, obviously a lot of people agree, Shanth. I don't know what it's sitting on now, but I think it's pretty damn high. It's like close to 270,000 raised.
Yep.
Probably close to 3,000 backers or something. Not exactly sure. But yeah, let's say He did a stream. I don't know if you caught it, where he was talking about, can't we just have fun in comic books again? Like, what happened to that?
Yep, that's a huge part of my thinking on Nosfero too. I mean, it's being in the academic world for as long as I was in it. It just, any connection to things like auteur theory and all that other stuff just go out the window at a certain point. Like, you realize, you said it when you were talking about the Lucent, it's got to be fun because it's going to be every day, and you've got to have that discipline and love it, and it's just, I sent my wife a text the other day because she was upstairs because she had a certain thing that I don't think is good for the YouTube algorithm to mention. Actually, everyone in my family did. But I sent her a text message and I said, I'm getting this is what I was meant to be doing. Like, this is what I was meant to be doing. And I think I just wrapped up the Visions piece for Malin, and I was just blocking in the thing I'm doing for Rob. It just, I don't know how to describe it. No, I think because I've always got 3 or 4 paintings going. So the head sketch of the Bride of Frankenstein for Lloyd Burton, like all these different things. Lauren comes down here and she looks in my office and she's like going, I don't think you've ever made this much artwork in your life. And I said, yeah, I did before I started overthinking it, before I went and got myself an education, and I'm kind of getting all that stuff out of my head. And I'm just in this just creative, tsunami right now. It's nuts.
And isn't that funny? That's like the exact opposite of what Mark Brooks said. It was like, where people go to CG and they start doing bad art. And when in the reality is, this stuff that we're seeing from Shane, from Kenneth.
No, you're right. It's the worst stuff they've ever done.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's. But you know what's so funny is, man, like, here's something I've been thinking about lately. Whenever you hear somebody say something incredibly stupid, right? Like, incredibly stupid, my first thought is, you must hang out with a group of people where that kind of stupidity goes unchecked. Like, the amount of sort of craven, disregard for reality that certain people are allowed to freely or allow themselves to freely express makes me feel like they are devoid of any source of embarrassment in their day to day, which allows them to be so embarrassing. I like, no one ever says to them, "Hey, man, that's idiotic." Like that they know. Like, I'm amazed. You type that out and put that online. My God, man. It's for my money right now. Dale Keown. I don't think Dale's missed a beat on anything I've ever seen him do. So take that as a preface for this. But the stuff he's doing in CG is my favorite stuff he's done, and that's saying something because I love all his work. Is what it is.
Well, look at what Comicsgate has done for Eric Weathers.
Oh, Eric's the man.
Like, he will freely admit that he was a beginner artist when he started on Flying Fortress.
Yeah.
Just as I will as well. I mean, I still am, in that phase. But the stuff that he's doing now, the new stuff, I mean, it's like it's a different dude.
Yeah.
And that's because of the environment that we're existing in here, where it's like super high competition, meritocracy rules, and it forces you to step up. Can't not step up. If you don't step up, you'll go the way of the dodo.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing in fighting, right? I mean, a great champion is made by great competition. If you dominate everybody because there's no real threats, it's not the same thing as someone like Muhammad Ali fighting Frazier and Foreman and just got on the list. That's later in his career. You know what I mean? Early in his career, he was taking the title off of everybody else, beating people who you thought, oh, there's no way he's going to win. Back when he was Cassius Clay. And it's like, when you see Manny Pacquiao 8-weight divisions, like, there's some really amazing fighters out there, but he fought early on in his career, fighters people don't know about, like, stopping Barrera, for heaven's sake, and stopping Morales twice. It's crazy to me when I look at, we talk about steel sharpening steel, but I also think inspiring artists inspire other artists. It's tough to be in this space where everybody is so inspired and just, I don't know how someone could not feel it. It's crazy.
I had actually, I'm just trying to remember that, and I'll get to the chat here because we've got some people talking in the chat. Ryan says, I hear Shane is pouring his blood, sweat, and coom into the printing ink. Do you really pour coom? Anyway, let's move on. Xevious is in the house. He says, good morning, gentlemen. Nice to see other people are working too. Awesome One says there's a Kaiju Monster Rancher game on Switch. Yeah, this stuff is popular. Like, it was a really clever thing to do. His sort of twist on that genre. What else we got in here? Jeremy agrees. Everyone is putting out their best work of their careers. Mo says, no one ever says anything incredibly stupid on this channel. Wow. I think that's sarcastic. I'm going to hazard a guess.
True that.
Dean says something I agree with. This is the best corner. This corner is the best. Yeah, I stuffed that up. Best corner in CG is this corner. I'm biased, but I agree. Rob says, I feel sorry for Mark Brooks. Imagine being Mark Brooks. How does he not hate himself?
Oh my God.
KSS says, Brooks has free time to get drunk, hang out in Discord servers, and troll people. Oh, did you see that burn?
What one?
Oh, I wish I knew where it was. It was on Twitter. Mark Brooks was like yapping away, as he does on Twitter.
Yeah.
And someone said, dude, you literally hang out in CG Discords, interact with CGers, and like make CG, like you're involved now in CG books. Like, sit the F down. It was classic. He's talking about the gay ups that Mark has been up to these last couple of weeks. It was perfect. Johnny Rando says, I am the Rocky Marciano of the chat.
Yep.
Yeah. Sumo says, I was driving at the time, but your movie night story was a Dorbs Bancroft. And it was so much fun. Like, it really was legitimately. And it was good that we picked that movie too. That, a movie that we could all watch, that we were all interested in. And it was a good movie too. But no, it was good. We'll definitely do that again. I'll let you guys know. I don't want to do it too often though. I don't want it to be like a weekly thing because then it loses its specialness.
Yeah.
Andrew says, Mark believes he is the same strata as J. Scott Campbell and Alex Ross by simple virtue of being a cover artist. But fans, there you go. Fans determine if you are a legend. Wise words.
Yep.
Oh, Val Schnitzel is going to compliment me here. My girlfriend just passed me and saw you on the screen and said, that guy's handsome. He looks like you when you were younger.
Damn.
Jeez. Ouch. Well, at least take... I'm happy with that. I'm happy with it. Val, yeah. I mean,
there are worse things,
I know, there's worse things to say. That's good.
Why haven't you ever looked that handsome coming to mind? That would be the worst, I think.
I hope Mel heard that. She's been on me. She's like, you need to trim your nose hairs and let me cut your hair and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Lose 10 kilos,
Yeah.
I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress, my new body and face.
Yeah.
Trying to get back a little bit of what was lost by becoming a father. I put on a lot of, I don't know if you did, Sean. I put on a lot of baby weight.
I did not.
When Mel was pregnant. And, I regret that. But I'm trying every day.
For that. I put on a lot of weight since, but not because of that.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I used to be quite a slender man. There's photo evidence.
You could not out-slender me. If I were to show you, you've seen my.
You were like, no, I was never like.
No, dude. Like, you remember when Steve Jobs was very, very
Oh
sick.
no, that was
Yeah.
you.
Do you remember that?
Oh,
Steve Jobs. Imagine if Steve Jobs, when he was looking very, very ill, had gone on an extreme diet.
well, that's what I did. That's what I
Yeah.
did back in the day. I was like, I used to run after work. I see how much, like I understand runner's high, like people who love running. I used to be one of them. It was weird.
Wow.
And I used to run 10 kilometers every night after work.
My
It's like
God.
7, 8 o'clock at night. Like, who has the energy for that? I mean, I guess when I was a younger man, I'm talking about early 20s.
Yeah.
I don't know what 10 Ks is in miles. Let me Google that for you
Yeah.
heathens in the chat. 10 kilometers in miles. 6 miles. So it used to take me, I don't know, 40 minutes. I don't know how long that takes.
Yeah.
But I used to get pumped on it. Yeah, like Financia's right. Yeah, run as high as real. I used to get like euphoric. I would end at like Rocky up a really steep hill, and I would be sprinting at the end of this 10 Ks up this hill.
Yeah.
Just get like natural high. Anyway, I was lifting weights, I was skating, I was running. Man, yeah, no, I thought I was looking good. Anyway, I meet a friend I hadn't seen in about 2 years, and the first thing he says to me is like, "Are you sick? You look like you have AIDS." I was thinking he was going to compliment me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you're young, though, your body just has so much more stamina. Like, when I was probably in my early teens, maybe probably like 14, 13, 14. I mean, I could just, do like 3 packs of cigarettes a day, and,
Really?
it's
You were a big smoker?
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
I would crush a carton of Marlboros in 3 days.
I never smoked.
I did from 11 to 17.
Oh yeah, that keeps you like super thin. That's crazy.
Well,
How
that
many
wasn't the
times?
reason though. Wasn't the reason I was thin. I was
You're just
eating a lot of crap.
malnourished.
Yeah, no, it's just God, I can't even describe it, man. It was great. Those are crazy times.
Your voice must have sounded like mine.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, God,
Husky gentleman.
I was, I can. My voice did not sound, 11. Yeah, and Whack-Ass says 3 days, coward. That's right. Yeah, man. I didn't even I used a lighter like in the morning, and then every cigarette was lit off of the previous one after that, pretty much. It was nuts. It was a great thing. People, my wife said to me one time, she goes, "Oh, do you ever think about that and just think how disgusting that was?" And I just looked at her and I went, "I miss it every day, sweetheart."
Yeah, the nicotine gets into the brain. I never smoked, but I hung around smokers, so I got like I don't know. There's something in my brain, even though I find it disgusting, the smell of it. My brain says, "Oh, hello."
You know how some people like drinking, and love like the taste. Yeah. That's how I love cigarettes. Yeah. Really do. They are fantastic. I mean, I don't drink at all. It does not I don't enjoy it. It doesn't do anything for me, to be honest. I did, when I was 11, 12, 13, but I don't now, And the thing about it is that it's like smoking is the greatest thing on earth. It's just fantastic. But it's
I hear that from a lot of smokers. Like,
it's like
they know they have to quit, but
I just have crazy, willpower for things. Well, again, let's go back to this. You know what it's like. Hour 2, hour 3, when you're in front of a board, it'll show you who's there. Who's in it to win it, man. Hour 12 and 13 is just like where I start to go. I really got to do more, but I'm having trouble. And then I take a break and I go back to it. That's just how it has to be.
I was talking about this on the last stream I did, how everything in my life, and this is going to sound super corny, but it's so true. Everything in my life has been leading up to this.
Yep. It's true.
And like, I haven't been inactive. I've been working and failing and having small successes and just like, oh, this isn't really like, it's not going to take me anywhere where I want to go. So I need to move on. Yeah, that sort of stuff. And you know, all these little things that I needed to be here to do this. And you just reminded me of one of them, which is, you know, stamina.
Yep.
I learned that on the poker table, where you're playing 15-hour games or more.
Yeah.
You know, I learned things in business. I learned things, all these sorts of things that I needed to be able to be here to do this. Not just like the comic, but the YouTube, and take part in the culture war and everything. Like it all, I needed to have the experiences that I had. And I went through all of them on a stream, like, you know, all the different things I did and what they taught me. They all taught me something unique and specific. It's like a character story arc. You know, in the manga, the character has to go through all the different bosses.
Yep.
To you know, get to the one, to get, you know, to get where they need to go. And you can't really bypass that. You know,
no, you can't.
I mean, because we see what happens. I think there's a lot of people out there that like the idea of making a comic. They like what they see. They want to make it. I genuinely believe they want to make a comic.
Sure.
They may even have a really good story, but they haven't got the, I don't know, what they need yet to be able to pull it off. They haven't gone through what they needed to have gone through.
Perseverance and Shanthan Jetty are, how did you quit smoking cold turkey? Well, first I was smoking Marlboros, then I decided to step down and I did hand rolling because I was already good at hand rolling, but I kept trying to get myself less and less overly processed cigarettes. And then one day I just sort of stopped cold turkey and was like, that's that. Because that's the will thing, you know. For me, it's my, how do I word it? My experiences before getting here are a lot more based on, you know, resilience of what I could survive. You know, I had to survive, you know, whatever, different shit when I was a kid. And, you know, and I clung to this dream ever since I was about 5 years old, you know, happy, safe family. Like that was it. That was what I was shooting for. That was my biggest goal. And I think one of the things that's interesting is, and that the first two art books gave me and Comicsgate has given me is when you sort of say to yourself, you know, this excellence was happening all the time in terms of technical ability when I was young. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it was something people always, you know, would notice and appreciate because I was just driven to work on it. But there was an element of the resiliency that, and the ability to kind of tolerate difficult situations that put me in a place that hates the kind of artwork that I make, which is the academic world, the fine arts world, and do that for a long time. And then I basically, you know, got to that point where I sort of said to myself, you know, first I did the first art book and the second art book. Let's see if we do this our way. And, you know, you were following me on Instagram before you knew I was CG. And no one knew who the hell I was when I started that Instagram because I was just in academia. I didn't have a name online. And to the numbers I got to that quick, no tricks, no promotion, just putting my stuff up. That was, and yeah, good night, Mo Biggs, by the way.
Mo's out of here?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
See you, Mo.
Hail, Mo. And that was the first time I saw, like, outside of, you know, jobs and freelance, that my work had some kind of currency on the internet. And that with people like strangers who I did not know in other countries and everything like that. And so, yeah, that was the, that was the thing that kind of I got to where I sort of said, no, now, you know, what is it? I think you said this to me too one time on a stream we were talking. I've always tried to do the best things I could do for people and be the most responsible person. I still have that responsibility, you know, in me and that discipline. But I've not been good at sort of giving myself the you know, the freedom that I encourage other people to have, which is to say, go and do that thing that you know you're capable of. Go see it. There's just one life. And when I did that, it was just, you know, like I said, it was was it 18, I think, or so, or whatever, when I launched my first art book. Ever since then, I haven't looked back, and it's just expanded, man. You know, and I still don't fully understand it. You know, I really don't. I got to be honest with you, man. I mean, I've done comics before, and I've done, different jobs before, but this is everything clicking all at once. It's incredible, man. Grateful to everybody in Comicsgate, man. Go ahead.
That's why I put out that tweet.
Yeah.
That controversial tweet.
Bigot.
Where I said, well, I say a lot of bigoted things, but I like to keep them just to the stream.
Yeah, but you're a crap white nationalist.
They're harder to pin me down.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
But where I said, if you haven't been able to get 50 likes on a promotional tweet, and I'm not saying you have to get them on every tweet. If you haven't been able to get that, you might not be ready for launching yet, because people don't know you enough yet. Yeah. And what I was trying to say with that is, we have this unprecedented, is absolutely incredible, open to pretty much anyone who's cool, like anyone who's chill, anyone just wants to have fun. You come in here and start shit, you're gonna have trouble. But if you come in here and play nice and do as others do and be cool, the opportunities here in this network that we've built up, that is Comicsgate, is mind-blowing, and people don't fully appreciate what Comicsgate is capable of. I've seen it firsthand on live streams where we're like, oh, I don't think this is going to get funded, and then bang, it does. Or it's like, oh, we need $700 in the last 10 minutes, or we need $300, we've got 30 seconds left. We've seen that.
Yeah,
we've seen that happen. And the people who were able to pull that off are the ones who fully believe in Comicsgate and what we're doing, and they come and they become a part of it. And the ones that have been able to do that, the things that they've been able to achieve where they wouldn't have been able to otherwise, is mind-blowing and crazy. And to me, I think, like, you're silly not to take advantage of this. You're silly. But I understand people don't want to. They have other issues going on in their lives, whatever. Okay. But then understand at that point, well, we told you. We know. Trust me, we know how hard it is out there on your own, because we were there. But you didn't see us because we were like you, in the shadow of obscurity. That life, puts you in when you're starting out, because we don't believe in propping people up based on their immutable characteristics. It's like, oh, this guy will get it really easy because he's a XYZ, and we need to prop him up, that sort of stuff. Like, we don't do that. So if you're just a quote unquote nobody, like virtually all of us are when we start out, it's just silly to me, in my mind, not to take advantage of what's been built here over the last 4 years, because you got more fans. There's more fans out there who are excited about crowdfunded comics and new exciting indie IPs created by people who are actually passionate about their IPs and want to make awesome stuff. There's more fans out there who will pay for that than you have the ability to get to back your first book. 100%.
Yep.
You will never get all of them on your first book. No one has come close.
Yeah.
So to sort of like shut yourself off from that because of reasons, okay, you can do that. You better have the best book we've seen all year to get, to be able to, but most people don't. And then we see what happens is like, they'll come out here, they'll sort of half hang out for a little bit. They'll say hello. They'll jump on a couple of streams and, And they'll do okay. They'll do fine, or they won't. Or their campaign, which looks great, just flies under the radar. And
sorry, just laughing because I'm not laughing so much about anything that you said as much as I'm laughing about people do not understand what went through. I mean, people do. Let me rephrase this. But I don't know if I can ever fully convey that and how much that was going through my head when we launched. Like, I got together with my wife and kids, said a little prayer, was like, but if there's the only, like, people were asking about, stretch goals and how I thought about things. And I was thinking this might not even fund.
mm-hmm.
That's where my mind was. You know what I mean? I took nothing for, like, I don't take things for granted. I'm not a cynical person, but I'm not somebody who just thinks, oh, how do I word this? I know that I'm good. I know that I'm a great painter. It is what it is. Like, I'm certainly solid. I'll put it that way. My great painters list is people like Nick Alm and David Casson. And I'm talking about these people who are incredible, and then going back, the bigger guys. But I know that how skilled I am. And so I knew my art would do whatever because I had done that on my own without Comicsgate. I had at least funded books, but I got to tell you, every time I do a project, I want it to be something that brings some joy and some beauty into my life. And the question of basically my number one concern when I launched this book was I had such a strong belief in Comicsgate and such a strong belief that this was what I was supposed to be doing. I mean, it was really profound on a spiritual level. There's so many things that went into this decision. And I just sort of said to myself, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. However it goes, it's going to go. But it would be crushing for so many more reasons than just, the book not funding. Because it was such a big decision. I talked to my wife about it. I told her about what I was dealing with and at work and refusing to teach prejudice to students and be a part of all that crap. And, to come into Comicsgate, and it's something I've been backing books in and been, around since, the Fandom Menace days. I kind of was on the, like I said, the other side of it. I was like on the Ethan side of things. But then being a huge comic fan forever, like ever. And I just, you never know how it's going to go. People can tell you that, it's going to go great, dude. Your stuff is great, and that's wonderful. I'm so grateful for all of that stuff. But to be where I'm at right now, where Nosfero is like $3,000 something away from 30K, and that the thing that I keep coming back to is I would not trade the friends that I've made in Comicsgate for anything. And that's the thing that really does my head in, man.
Because we're awesome.
It's like, dude, I'm telling you this right now. If I'm rambling, I apologize. It is 4:50 here.
It is late for you, I know. Yeah,
but I'm early now. But the thing,
you do sound like a little bit like you're drunk. That's cool. I like it. I dig it.
No, actually, you know what it is.
I feel it.
I'm drifting into a Southern accent because I've been watching that dang Yellowstone show, and every time I watch that show, I've never talked to you in a Southern accent, have I?
I've heard you do it. I know.
Yeah, you've heard
I know
me do
how
it, but...
good you are at it. I'm
good at it.
You're like Clarice in Silence of the Lambs. She's like, Lecter's like, you tried so hard to
and no, come on now,
that.
And that accent, pure West Virginia.
Yeah.
What did your daddy do? Was he a coal miner? You know what you look like with your expensive bag and your cheap shoes? You look like a rube, a well-oiled, hustling rube with a little bit of class.
God, I love that. Actually, might be my favorite franchise.
Yep,
Hannibal, Silence of the Lambs. I love it so much. Let me get back to the chat here. We are ignoring them. I apologize, guys.
I know.
People are talking about quitting the smokes, quitting the durries. Well Read says, how did Shanth go from academia to CG? A big leap. I mean, a leap of faith.
Yeah,
a leap of faith. And
I say this all the time, but just if anyone ever asks that question, and I'm not around to answer it, it's a simple fact of I experienced a lot of prejudice when I was a kid, and I always believed deep down, although you always fear a little bit, that I wouldn't ever participate in it if I was on the other side. And someone asked me to think racist things about my white wife, and I refused to do it. It's that simple. Couldn't do it. Goes against everything I believe. And so, yeah, it was a massive leap of faith, but I had to be able to look at my kids and say, I'm not a part of telling people your mother is evil. That's the way it is.
And bless you for that. Andrew Wyatt says, you guys don't really have to do culture war, though. The stories you guys are making leave behind the lasting example of what fans enjoy. Not sure if Shane is here, but I feel the same applies. I see that as culture war.
Yeah.
Like, I see what we're doing by just putting out entertainment. And you said this earlier, Shant. You were like, you have to make the loose and entertaining. That wasn't the premise for my story, but the decision I wanted to do was I wanted this to be entertainment. I'm not trying to teach anyone any lessons. I'm not trying to give them the great moral story of the 20, whatever. No, I'm trying to entertain people. Now, in that story, you can have themes and touch on things. You can have, what is it? Like a
moral
dialectic. It's like a, just have you can think about these things. You can be philosophical about it. But the aim of the story is to be entertainment for anyone.
Yeah.
Apolitical, right? I do see that as culture war because the culture warriors have made everything political. So having something that is not political has become, drawing a line in the sand and saying, this is what we're doing. And so for instance, Top Gun, the sequel coming out in 2022 is like a artillery shell in the culture war.
Yeah.
Like this is hitting right to the heart of the social justice parasite movement, that sort of stuff. So I get I don't want to get into like friggin' tit for tat anti-SJW stuff. The people who do that way more famous than me, and they're way better at it, and they have the correct disposition for it.
Yeah.
Like more power to them. But yeah, no, I agree. I'm just like, I guess I'm arguing over semantics at this point. Awesome One says, just one life indeed. People are saying classic Clancroft. Bancroft is a strict authoritarian. That's related to my tweet.
Yeah, well,
that annoyed people. But that's Twitter. Like Twitter is going to you say anything definitive on Twitter, and I did couch it in a caveat. I said probably. I am denied over putting in another caveat, and I thought I need to get like wheelie. What is it? Mealy mouthed.
Yes.
I need to get too milk toast here. I can say something. This is it's not, and it's not like a law. It's just an observation, and it's more just like every one of us can be doing more promotion of ourselves and utilizing this Comicsgate network more. Every one of us, and be amazed what it can do for you. Hold on a second, skip down on me here. KSS CG and the CG channels equals every day is a mini Comic Con with the fans and creators getting to know one another. Yep.
Yeah.
Hang on. Andrew White, what would be cool is if there's a way to sell bundles of some old CG books, like how you used to get comic bundles at the supermarket. Well, Andrew, I don't have that on offer, but I can lead you to cgnow.net.
Yes.
Where you can buy a whole slew. There's over 70 CG titles available for sale right now over on cgnow.net. One of them being this book right here, which is my own Waking Dream. I've got very few left of these bad boys. If you do want to go grab it and you missed out, this is like the first edition. So depending on how many of these I have left when Painted Death launches, I'll have them available on the campaign, but there might not be any left. I don't know. There'll be a second printing with a new cover on it, but then this cover will be gone. and you will have missed out. Or you can wait, up to you. But anyway, cgnow.net. Look at this. A whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
All of these titles. You can't get them all in one place. That's like way beyond, I think, anyone's capability right now. That would require a legitimate company with distribution and capital behind it. But at the very least, it's a convenient two-stop shop.
Yeah.
To check.
It's eBay, not Amazon. You can order a bunch of stuff from it. It's all going to get to you, but it's not going to come.
That's a great way of
place.
putting it, Shant. I never thought about it like that. Why am I sharing that? It's not what I meant to share.
Was it your social?
I was sharing my. No, I was sharing the stream. Yeah, I think it's time to end the stream, Shant. Let me get to these chats, and then I think we'll close out the stream.
Sounds good.
I'll let you.
Yeah, it's getting late there, man.
I'll let you. Yeah, I've got to go in for dinner at some point. All right. What else we got in here? Felix Huss says Nosferatu is highly unappreciated. It's going to be a very rare collectible. Yeah, it's great to. It's actually really cool to see this happening. I saw the same thing happening with Groken. People sleep on it because it's the first outing.
Do you know what our secret is?
What?
Paint really, really well and make your artwork as beautiful as possible, and then name your book something utterly incomprehensible. That's our strategy. Groken, Nosferatu.
Yeah. Well, at least you know people will.
Oh man, I'm so grateful. Yeah.
No one can confuse it with anything else. Although they could confuse it with Nosferatu.
Yeah, that's right. My brother Narwhal's book is
did you
awesome.
misspell Nosferatu?
Well, that could be true though. You know, that would actually be the origin. I misspelled it.
Yeah. What? God, I hate Chrome. I hate it. I hate it, Shant. I hate it with
it's listening to you and reporting you right now. No.
It doesn't work right.
No, it doesn't.
It just doesn't work right. I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to find friggin' Nosferatu here so I can show people, but I gotta go into Safari where I'm safe.
Yeah, that's right.
Where I've been before. Yeah, so what's happening is Shant is new to a lot of people. He's done 2 crowdfunds before, but they weren't for a comic. But that's okay. But everyone starts somewhere. And what's going to happen is the book is going to come out. It's going to get into people's hands. And everyone will be like, oh, no, I missed out on this, Shant. Oh, I wish you had kept it on live for longer. And you'll be like, it was live for months and months and months and months. But you won't say that because you're just like, thank you so much. Like, hope you can grab, a copy now or when it's available again, or hope to see you on the second campaign or something like that. This is what happens. I mean, it happened to Kenneth Rocafort. It happens to everyone.
Yeah.
It's just the way things work. People underestimate. People underestimate how much like being an established crowdfunder affects how many people back your book. It really does matter.
It does, yeah,
a lot. If you put out a good first book, man, do they come back and check out what you're doing for your second and third and onwards campaign. But anyone who isn't aware, this is what I mean. You can see what he's painting, but this is Nosferatu here. I was very proud to quasi-launch this book.
Fuck, dude, I'll never forget that. I'm so sorry, man. I felt terrible. That's how new I was to this, though, man. You know,
you're over 400 backers. That's crazy.
Man. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Comicsgate. Hail Comicsgate. And Michael, I tell people this all the time, that one of the things that really meant a ton to me coming out of the place I was coming out of was when I was talking to you about the launch and you went, would you like me to look it over so nothing goes wrong? And the one thing, but you offered to look over the campaign, and I came up in a situation to where when I think about it, of just
You were like, "What angle you playing at, boy?"
Yeah, it
What do
was.
you want from me?
No, I thought you were like it. See, that's so funny. It was less that and much more of the. You know, when your friends get in the car and like they unlock the door for you and you go to get in, then they drive 3 feet, and then you go and reach again. They drive 3 feet. That's like basically what
You thought I was setting you up.
No, I thought you were kidding. I was like going, that's funny, and I was like, honey, I think he actually is interested in looking it over. And she was like, well, send it to him. I was like, yeah, I guess so. It was pretty odd evening, you know, but it
was all good. It was
that's
all good
what
anyway.
Comicsgate is, man.
We made fun of like you make lemonade out of lemons in CG. That's what we do.
That's right.
Simply Green says when the opposition is anti-fun, fun becomes revolutionary. Anti-fun, anti-truth, anti-reality.
Yeah.
So many things. Yeah, all you have to do to succeed in 2022 is just do what was the bare minimum a decade earlier.
Yep, it's true.
That's it, because people are craving it. Remember when Jordan Peterson hit?
Yep.
I don't know about your situation. It sounds like you had a much, much harder childhood than I do. I don't want to get into that. But when Jordan Peterson came out, it was a phenomenon because he's generations of people who'd never had anyone listen to them or care about, you know, what they're going through and all this sort of stuff. And it was the most simple stuff. It was nothing revolutionary. So to me, it was like nothing. I mean, I agreed with it all, but I was like, I don't need it, you know, but I could see people needing it out there and how like he could only have become Jordan Peterson in, you know, this timeline.
Yeah.
Because what he's saying was just common sense that everyone understood a mere 2 decades ago. And now he found millions of people who'd never heard the things he was saying.
Yeah.
Admiral Wackass is on me. He thinks Australia is the Truman Show. One day we'll get him over here. He still won't believe. He'll think that we just rolled the plane around and set up a set or something.
Say, man. Yeah.
Noran Rad, entertaining escapism is the counterculture now. It really is. But it's so popular. Like, what are we talking about? Stranger Things.
Yeah, perfect example.
Look how massive that is. It's like massive beyond reason. I mean, it's so good, but like it's so good in a climate where even just being barely good is super rare and precious.
So you found they stuck the landing on that? Because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah, you will not be disappointed. It's
I had a feeling.
You can tell. Like there's no cracks in the way that's being set up. It's a fully professional, excellently made show. All right. Also, I watch more culture channels like Culture Casino and smaller channels and a few CG channels. Well, thank you so much for being here, man. That is awesome. People are talking about your fantastic accent. Groken 2 is almost at 94K.
That's beautiful. Killing it.
I love it that there's this like the 6-figure club is growing.
It is.
You know, it's amazing to see. They've got, they walk around with like they've got their cool rings on or something. Like, oh, they're the 6-figure people. And Eric Weathers is in it now, which is crazy.
Yeah, there's this other person I think might be in it soon, but we'll see. I don't like to make predictions.
We don't make predictions though. We don't do that here.
No.
Infinity in the house. Here we go. About to be on his channel. Good morning, fellas. 10 a.m. here. Prepping for work. By the way, Mike, the F is wrong with you. Honestly, you drew a made-up language on 6 columns instead of copying and pasting. Well, I did. How many columns are there? Hold on. Let me share this again. I mean, I thought 6 columns was enough. I didn't want to cheat the audience too much. Hold on a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 columns. that's a fair amount of copying and pasting, isn't it? Not that crazy. What else we got in here? Michael Bancroft, the Ohio connection. Finacha's in the house. There you go, Finacha. He says CG has the highest level of equity and opportunity. It really does.
It does. Yeah.
It really does. Antoine Dennison reminds us all we need to clean our room. I do,
Yeah.
but every time I clean it, the kids come in here like a friggin' Kansas tornado.
That's right.
And we have to do it all over again. All right. We're nearly to the bottom here. We got Skip. Why is Shant working and Bancroft being lazy? Because I'm about to go have dinner. I'll go back to working after dinner, I think. CG rings. Someone should make them. Infinity Alejandro says no, Mike, no. I think that is going to be it for the night. I want to thank you, Shant, for coming in and keeping me company.
My pleasure.
While I work. That's a very cool piece you're doing there for Mr. Rob Arnold with the Goliath. Is that Ghost there as well?
Yeah. So let me see if I can put this back on screen. Hang on. My goal is to someday, because of your poker background, compete against you and lose, so that I can say, he beat me straight up. Give him his money.
He beat me. He gotta say he beat me.
He beat me. Straight up.
Pay him.
Pay him.
That man his money.
Pay that man his money.
Great movie.
Great
movie. Terrible poker. Like,
yeah, but Malkovich,
poker
man.
is rubbish. If you want to see real poker, watch Molly's Game. That's real.
Yeah.
That's what it's really like. Sumo says thank you for the stream. Skip looks like he's heading home. He's going to start drawing. So make sure you subscribe to Skip Edwards Art. He'll probably start up a stream later. I'm not sure if I'll be able to hang out, Skip, because I'll be in the house on the couch drawing next to Mel. So Admiral Riker says, God bless Bancroft and Shant. How to the chat. Oh, thank you so much. I'm happy to be back, guys. I know it's been weird and not hanging out with you for a week, but had to be done. The voice, I needed some time to heal, and we'll be back at it. Before I leave, can I just do one last reminder for anyone? We've got 83 people in here. Are any of you not signed up to Painted Death? There will be exclusive offers yet to be revealed, discounts and such, some things I'll be giving away. I'll also be giving away one of 5. I'll also be giving away 5 of these exclusive books. I'm only printing 10 of. You don't have to even back the book to win. That's how generous I am to win one of these bad boys. I'll be giving away the other 5 on the day of launch to 5 backers. Yeah, look, this book is going to be, it's like if you liked Waking Dream, you were intrigued by it, you felt I hooked you in, you're like, okay, all right, I don't quite know what's going on, but I'm listening. This book is so much bigger, grander. There's subplots. You get to see things that were only alluded to, like the Order in the first book. And I think you're really going to love it. I love it. I'm putting everything I've got into it in terms of art. It's going to be good. So please do make sure you are signed up for it. And I can hear my voice fading, so I will bid you adieu for the night. And I will see you all tomorrow at 9 p.m. sharp for extra special show. Tiger Blue 2 is launching. We'll be doing the launch show here, and then those guys will continue on the party over on at Jeremy's. So until then, I hope you have a good night, and I will see you all later. Bye.
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
Now. You're looking at now, sir. Everything that happens now is happening now.
What happened to then?
We passed then.
When?
Just now. We're at now.
Go back to then.
When?
Now.
Now?
Now.
I can't.
Why?
We missed it.
When?
Just now.